There it is. Hi, everybody. I'm Jeremiah James, also known as Ojos Todos. Welcome to In Process. I am here with Dirty Wi-Fi.
Hey.
So this is an exciting one. Basically, I want to make sure that I try to get the amount of DJs that represent the local Rochester scene and the DJs that represent the Buffalo scene. Like, I want that ratio as equal as possible. So I'm like hoping the more I get to know, and it's hard for me because I don't really head out there. I really should, but I'm like a very tired person. So I
It's
go
out here,
right,
you know.
and then I got the slushy slush outside, but it has been a priority to make sure that's even. Syracuse, I think there's some stuff
Even
going on in
Ithaca,
Syracuse. Yeah, definitely Ithaca and like microtones and stuff. But I want all of upstate New York. Mm-hmm. Okay, and if you're from New York City, I mean, and you come up here and you're cool, I don't know. I guess you can,
Fine, I guess New York City can join
I guess
along.
you can count.
You know, you guys have your own entire thing.
Yeah. So.
You know.
But yeah, I am excited for this one. So this kind of has a few purposes. I want to get to know Dirty Wi-Fi. This is quite literally probably our first time meeting in person. It is possible I was like crawling around at a rave somewhere.
Oh, I've definitely seen you crawling around somewhere with a camera trying to get like
so you've seen me with the cameras, you'll see me with my hat. And I'm very like, I don't know.
And I don't know. Sometimes in raves I get a little shy, so like I'm very much could be a wallflower and like just like maybe you saw me, but then like 30 minutes later you probably won't see me because I left or I got overstimulated or something like that.
That's exactly what it is. And I would say that's kind of even what got me into the photography element was like, you know, I could go to the front and like, you know, bounce around, or I'd be very wallflowerish, like just kind of, you just like go to a rave and you just like take it the way that you need it for yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyways, that's the first purpose. We're going to get to know Dirty Wi-Fi. The second is I want to talk about Dirty Wi-Fi's cool party tea service. Am I saying that right? Because there is an XO on the tag for Insta, and I wasn't sure if it's like Tea Service XL or if it's like just Tea Service.
Well, we just say Tea Service. You could say Tea Service XO. I mean, I think that's kind of cute. But yeah, Tea Service is the collective based around a group of queer individuals in Buffalo who throw parties. I actually was put on after I was invited to DJ their first event that was in October. Tea Service is really like, it's really just like a party for queers by queers, really. And when I did that first party, they asked me to be their resident DJ for their side parties that are more late night shifted, that are geared towards late night, which is called Nightshade.
Okay.
So
that's what I was going to ask you, because I noticed that. I was like, okay, there's something else going on here. Before we fully launch into Tea Party, because I really want to, I don't know all the history and herstory and everything around it. There is also a fundraiser drive for the Trans Women of Color Collective.
Very important. Yes.
So, you know, I'll sell that spiel for later. There is a way for me to put like a little QR code. Let me see if this works, because I got a few. No, that's a description. There's a QR code. So there's a QR code in the corner. If it doesn't scan, you're not able to get it, or you're watching on your phone. So you're like, I can't scan it because I'm on my phone. You can go to twocc.org/donate, and you can donate directly. This is something I cleared with them. I talked to, you know, the people in charge over there. Mm-hmm. They're very into this. They're very okay with it. So if you donate, it's going straight to them. Like, it's not going to
donate.
Yeah, it's not going to my little Venmo or PayPal. It's going straight. It's going straight either to their PayPal, or if you do it on the website, it's going straight to whatever merchant they use. It says donate. So please consider that. Definitely while we're talking, definitely while Dirty Wi-Fi is mixing, please. And I can also make sure I put that in the story too.
Yeah, so. Absolutely.
But yeah, so I say let's go into it. Let me pull up your bio. So, which by the way, this was my favorite slide I think I've made. So if any
Your
of you,
designs are so top tier.
thank you. So if anybody,
They're so legit.
thank you so much. So if anybody saw this, you know, I was kind of fixated on the concept of tea, you know, and tea can mean a lot of things for a lot of different people.
As we sip tea.
Yeah, we are sipping tea, by the way.
Yeah.
Yerba Madre. This will be the first time
Very
I'm
on
trying
brand right now with the tea.
it. So, you know, I was like, okay, like let me find tea, let me find something that works. So I found this really cool, like a real schematic. So the images I used for the promo for this, it was a real schematic. It's like from the Library of Congress. Maybe if I'm bored, I'll put it in the story. Laura, get over here.
Laura.
Yeah, get over here. So, then I was like, oh my God, I really love the idea of it being kind of like Bridgerton, whatever.
Yeah. Lady Whistledown.
Yes. So I got Lady Dirty Wi-Fi. And I like what Whistledown's doing too, because, you know, it's kind of like reclaiming what was a very not great time period.
Yeah.
For anybody who wasn't white.
Yeah.
And yeah, and switching it up. And it's just, I don't know, I like that stuff. I love period drama.
Yeah.
But anyways, I went hard on this design. I literally based it right off the flyer that's in the show. But anyways, here's the bio for Dirty Wi-Fi. So Brie Harris, aka Dirty Wi-Fi, has many hats as an artist, DJ, and party curator in the West New York DJ community. Starting from bedroom DJ sets to opening for world-renowned DJs like Grace Sands, her dedication to intersexuality and the scene speaks wonders in her multi-genre DJ mixes. She fuses techno and bass with global underground sounds like Baltimore Club, Jersey Club. I don't want to mess this up. Kuduro?
Kuduro?
Yeah. Boyan, am I saying it right? Boyan?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Etc. Dirty Wi-Fi is part of the queer party collective Tea Service, who dedicate time and effort to throw quality dance parties in the Buffalo area, on top of carrying local residencies. She's also played multiple times here in Rochester in our little underground scene for Juicebox, Body Language, etc., and has learned that the preservation of the concept of plur has never been more important than in today's world. And for those who are wondering what plur is, that is peace, love, unity, respect.
That's right.
It's a very old school.
Very old school rave. I've done my homework. I've done my research. Because I always tell myself if I ever get the time to time travel, I know exactly where I'm going, so I could see like the origin or the beginning of plur happening.
Like what era? Like was plur like 90s? I feel like it's like 90s.
It's very 90s.
Yeah.
I feel like it was very much when raves became the thing, going big warehouses, and you had whole communities. From you didn't just have the girls from Chicago that live in the city going to the warehouse. You had literal like suburbanites from Wisconsin driving in to like go to these big raves.
Yeah.
And to see these
They were coming from like Canada.
Yeah.
There was like that crossover between the Michigan area and then, I don't know, whatever the areas up there in Canada, they'd be like all coming over to Detroit.
Yeah, doing these pilgrimages to go to the rave. Like it's a very beautiful thing to think about, because I feel like in today's world, you know, I don't know, things get, you know, either get priced out or, you know, or you have the privilege to go to some of these like big DJ events, but like raves back then were very much underground, illegal, and they were still doing it on a big... It was before it became mainstream, before people even knew what the rave scene was. And within that community of people that were going to these events, there was peace, love, unity, respect. Just to make sure that, like, there's a code here, that everyone here is accepted. And I feel like that's just so important to keep those values in the forefront. Just so we could, like, preserve what we have. You know what I mean? Like, there are some dance floors, I could just tell we're not going by plur in certain dance floors, because you just feel it. You just know. And as a person of color, like, and someone who is already on the margins, no matter which angle, you know. So...
Yeah, no, it's a thing. And, you know, that's why I kind of harp on that whole thing that, you know, techno is black. House is black. Like, its originators are black and trans and, you know, not privileged. So, you know, I think that's important to kind of keep reminding people of that. But definitely the term plur is still around.
Yeah.
You know, I know. I think of like those little those little bracelets, you know, that people would make.
Yeah.
Little friendship bracelets.
Bring
plur.
back the bracelets. Let's get creative again.
I've definitely seen that. Definitely more in like the sort of like Electric Daisy kind of scene.
Yeah. The more colorful rave
like,
scene, I would
you know,
say. Yeah.
It's very like kawaii and cute. Cool. So I like that. I think that's a good way to just jump into sort of who are you as Dirty Wi-Fi? Maybe like I always ask like where'd you get that name? And yeah, like what kind of genres and stuff got you going where you were like, you know what? Like I want to do this for myself. Like I actually want to DJ.
Well, Dirty Wi-Fi came from just the concept of me finding like remixes of remixes online and just being a deviant online trying to find music. I was never traditionally like collecting vinyl or anything like that. Like that was never my way of building up a base when it came to music collecting. I kind of collected just through the internet, whatever server, whatever disk drive, whatever MP3 players I've had. I'm very much a digital type person, and that's how I kind of studied music throughout the years. So Dirty Wi-Fi was me on a broken iPhone trying to find Wi-Fi, trying to listen to YouTube snippets from, I don't know, like old LSD XOXO tracks that he used to post on YouTube.
Are we talking like LimeWire? Like how?
Oh yeah, we're talking.
Like how far back are we going?
I mean,
Okay.
We could go to Napster.
Napster, yeah. Okay, so are we in the same age bracket? Because I'm 35.
I mean, I remember in 2003, 2004, my grandmother got a computer, and the first thing I did was go on Napster. And I completely obliterated her computer, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
And because, you know, you got those tracks for free. And that was such an unknown concept to me, was getting music for free. And it was such a rebellious sort of vibe, because you were ripping these tracks from God knows where, and then I was burning them onto CDs. And then I was burning more CDs on top of other CDs. So I had a book just full of burned CDs.
I think a lot of us did. So yeah, I mean, I remember like that was the thing too, is like you had the family computer, and it was big. It was this big tan box.
Yep.
With a big ass screen.
The big hard drive.
Like big hard drive, floppy disk. But yeah, that's what you would have to do if you wanted to like listen to music or whatever. And then everybody had like once iPods started coming out after.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking like the big iPods, like the big tanky ones. It was after CDs, so then we all started moving them there.
Yeah.
I had a Zune.
Oh, Zune. Zune. The Zune versus the iPad.
I still
iPods.
Yeah, I still have the Zune. It's like in my attic. I don't know if it's recoverable, and it's crazy. I remember back then
you can recover it though. Like if you send it in, like they'll give you a new battery for it, because that's all you need.
I just want to see what I was listening to at the time. I know I was listening to like some techno, like Imogen Heap. It was like huge in that era. But yeah, no.
Nice.
That is so funny. But that's kind of how it is. And I mean, there's definitely, going to always be those arguments around like piracy, improper, compensation or whatever. But for a lot of DJs, that is very much the thing.
Yeah.
And also like a lot of DJs, like big top tier DJs, they'll like put hidden things out there.
Oh yeah. If you're connected on like Bandcamp or if you're connected with any artists, like I would say, I mean, it depends on how big they are too. If they are big, they'll most likely post them maybe like on SoundCloud or on like Bandcamp, like things that they're working on, or here's this free track of the remix that I did, and I can't really ask for money for it because it's not my song. But then there's like the artists where it's like if they have a certain amount of following, like where they're more connected with the people that they're talking to, like there's some DJs where I straight up emailed them. Like if you put your email in your bio, I'm gonna email you and be like, hey, let me get that track.
And you'd be surprised how many people will do it. The last interview I had with Foreign Body, Autumn was saying that some of the checks that she got were just straight up from contacting the DJ. You know, because they'll have like edits or they'll have like just I don't know like different things that aren't really released. And they'll
Yeah.
be like, yeah, or they'll just say like, don't say that you got it from me, or like keep it on the DL. You know, like it's kind of cool, and I don't know, and so I like that element. I like that sort of like, just you're in the cyberspace like internets, and you're
Yeah.
digging. So that's what you were doing. You were on that
I
computer
was on the
digging.
computer. I was digging around. I was getting any free music I could get my hands on. That was the goal. And the more I was making mix CDs and then going into, obviously, getting into the MP3 player stages of things, I was, typing out, finding out the actual name of artists because sometimes when you rip songs, they'll have a different title to them or they won't even have an artist name on them. And that's just kind of how I studied music growing up. And once I got to like high school, like that's when like Spotify started
Mm-hmm.
like becoming a big deal, and they were like free at that time, like literally no ads, no nothing, like bare bones. Honestly, I miss that era of
Mm-hmm.
Spotify where you were just listening to music straight up off the dome, no ads, no bullshit. Um and then I was just listening. Then I started studying even more because I had whole catalogs, the stuff that was like organized, and you had different artists that related artists that I didn't know were related, or artists that came out around that certain time. Like I was really big into Daft Punk in high school. That was
Yes.
like the Daft Punk was like everything to me.
Yeah.
Like the helmets, the persona, the
Did you
whole
get into the anime thing?
yeah,
Like how they
like
had the anime
yeah, the
aesthetic?
movies,
Yeah,
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 like
yeah.
all of
Because
the
I was into that. I was like,
yeah,
oh, this is so cool.
everything they did, the way they rolled everything out was just so pristine to me, and it felt like you were in a whole nother world. And but then you realize like there are so many other DJs. Like they
Mm-hmm.
started off being DJs before they became Daft Punk. And there are so many other DJs that they were influenced by, which is why the song Teachers is so important because I'm like they're literally naming all of the legends from basically from the 90s and early 2000s,
Yeah.
and they're just naming them on the track and being like, "Hey, you know, do some homework on on the record homework,"
Yeah.
which is probably one of my favorite records of all time.
That's a huge record. I mean, that whole like that early Daft Punk era was just like
It was so raw.
so yeah. It was like very raw. It was like more electro-y too, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
it still had like that gritty kind of techno feel to it. And yeah, it has like kind of a groovy,
Mm.
soulful thing going on too.
I love that they paid homage to a lot of people. Like, please, you didn't like people didn't know who DJ Sluggo was,
Hmm.
and then you're like, oh snap! Like they're putting you on. Like they're legit putting you on to the real shit, which I think is just so dope. And because they're so dope, so it's like there's no to me they're just the ego death of it all of being like, yo, here are all these legends, pay homage to them because without them, this record probably wouldn't be a
Right.
thing.
Which is important. And then it's cool because they become legends. They become like these honestly like
Yeah,
pop culture icons. And then they just kind of walked away from it. They're like, we're good.
because even Sluggo
Yeah.
has mentioned like, yo, I was on that record, and that meant a lot to me, and that ended up being an influential moment for him to be like, yo, I was mentioned on the Daft Punk record.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that these dudes from France even knew who I
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And I love that crossover too between Europe and America, and the tracks that bounce around between the two regions, and like Europe being influenced by Detroit, but then Detroit's being influenced by like Kraftwerk and like all that other
Yeah.
shit. Like I don't know, I love history, and when it comes to music, like music is such like the perfect archive for history. So like,
because you can see where the influences trickled into another influence, and then that trickles into something else, and then eventually that makes its way into something else.
yes,
You know, and then the sound, you know, it goes all the way to the mainstream. You know, it makes me think of like how oh, I'm so bad with names, but like Beyonce, the last album had Honey Dijon on as like an actual
oh yeah,
producer.
are you talking about Renaissance?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm a bad gay, guys. Don't kill me. They're gonna throw tomatoes at me.
The hive's gonna come for you.
Yeah. Throw popper bottles at me. No, like, so, you know, they had that consultancy because that sound is the forward sound. You know, it's both classic, but it also is futuristic. And so you kind of see that this stuff that's in the underground eventually makes its way to a lot of stuff that, you know, everyday things that other people would hear.
Well, yeah, that's why that record was so important when it dropped, because it hit so many people, because, like you said, it had all the cosigns from Birel and all the Vogue ballroom scene girlies, and then you had the house girlies like Honey Dijon and, wow, why am I forgetting? Kevin Aviance.
Who is coming to Rochester soon?
Plug.
Pride, Juicebox, Kevin Aviance. Our local DJs, Maxi and Cherry Midnight. Oh my fucking god, that is a crazy booking. Little side thing, but yeah, a huge ballroom, you know, icon. I'm excited. It's gonna get cunty.
It's gonna be yeah. It's gonna get cunty.
Yes, tea, like tea service. I picked up.
Tea.
I picked
this
up
is when
what you're
everyone
putting
sips
down.
their tea.
No, that's gonna be sick. But no, you hear that influence, and oh, I love ballroom shit. It's so raw and it's so nasty. So I do want to talk. I want to get to tea service.
Okay.
Because then I think we're just naturally going to talk about sort of the genres that you gravitate towards. So I was listening to, and I want to fuck this up. So I have the SoundCloud. I was just listening to your mix earlier this week and then today. Give me a second. And this is a tea service mix too. So this is tea service, Nightshade, and it's the purple one. I don't know why it's not showing. It was the purple one. It's the one that had the purple art. And I want to talk about the artwork too. So I'm going to pull out this artwork. I'm going to have to get up to do this. But I actually got the artwork on here because I want to talk about the artwork. I want to talk about your sound. And I want to talk about tea service.
Okay.
Oh.
Working overtime.
Right. All right. There it is. So if you look up there, you can see it.
Oh, that flyer.
Yes. So let's start there. So you mentioned that yeah, it's on there. Okay. Just making sure. So you mentioned two things. You mentioned that there's a Nightshade kind of offshoot, which is for night.
Yes.
Or something.
That's for late night, yeah.
Yeah. And then the other thing, I'm sorry, like, I just how not connected I am, so please forgive me, people watching. I assume that this is a party that you had started, but it sounds like somebody else has started it and you hopped on. Like,
yeah.
So I guess let's get into that. And then the last thing I want to ask you is the art. Like, who did this artwork? Because it is so fucking cool. I love this
shout
art.
out to JD and NT Service. JD, you're amazing. JD does all of the flyers are all handmade and hand done.
And they're like real.
Yes.
Like I was looking at, like if you go to, it's on here at t.service.xo, you can see that these are like real flyers with like real physical mediums, like glued onto it or something. I'm not sure what's going on there.
They're all like handcrafted and yeah, they're made with love, you know what I mean? And so important in this age of AI that we have
real art,
handmade flyers crafted by our own team. So we're literally putting our hands into what we're doing. But yeah, tea service, I was put on late. I'm not gonna lie. At first I was just asked to DJ, but they wanted resident DJs for their events so they could have someone to open for
which is a
their
whole other
events.
conversation that's very important. But we'll do that later. Keep going.
And tea service, all the tea service parties are the ones that are during the day. Those are daytime parties.
Okay.
So you have your tea time ones because of tea service,
Yeah.
and then you have nightshade, which is like the darker late night crowd sort of vibe. And of course, I'm doing those parties. I'm opening for the nightshade ones
That's
because
so
I've been told to get dirty on the decks.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I prefer nighttime anyway.
Yeah.
So
no, I was listening to the mix that was for this. So it started off like you just launch into like a dirty, nasty, very ballroom-esque kind of track. Just like very, very just blasting. Yeah, like real nasty. And then it goes everywhere. You know, I'm hearing like ghetto tech. I'm hearing like some cool like Detroit techno. Like it gets techno-y, it gets bouncy, it's tech housey, but it's never like in my, you know, I have an argument about cheap tech house that I don't like. It's really good.
different discussion.
And that's a me thing, but you know it's just really really good. So yeah, you know, I was listening to it, I was like, oh, this is just like nasty. And then before this stream, you know, we were talking, I was like, this is just, it is like very dirty Detroit vibes. So yeah, tell me like, how did you get into that, and you know, what kind of maybe goes into making a mix for tea service or just in general?
Well, I usually find a couple key tracks that move me, that I've been playing a lot. I'm always listening to new stuff, so I'm always trying to make sure that I'm staying, that I'm always making sure that I like don't get too carried away and like trying to fit a certain mold. I have to stay true to what I like. Recovering people pleaser, so I'm like trying not to like think of, well, what's gonna make the party pop off, like what do other people want to listen to, but people are coming to listen to what I like to listen to. Mm-hmm. So I have to stay focused on what it is, like why I'm here, how did I get here, what am I about to play, and what do I enjoy listening to and playing over and over again. When it comes to making a mix, at least for T-Serve, for that particular mix, that I was really just influenced by Detroit. I mean, I really wanted to get like dark, dirty. I was thinking back at Movement, actually. I was thinking back when I went to Movement last year, and it was such a, like, I was so
Movement's
influenced.
the shit. So just a little context for people that don't know, Movement is, I don't want to call it like the original party, but it's a big festival. It happens in Detroit. It is ran by the originators of techno, which would be like Juan Atkins, Kevin Saunderson. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm the third one. I'm not sure like who all is involved, but basically, it is very housey. It's very techno-y, but it's very real. It's very committed to its roots. It's very committed to like that kind of grassroots community vibe. Making sure that those like lineups are diverse, and it's cool because there's like an upstairs area, there's a downstairs area. They have like more sort of European, colder techno, you know, and then they have like that like dirty Detroit, and even like pushing into like hip hop stuff. You know, they have it all there.
They build all those connections, and it goes back to the history of music in Detroit in general, and how it's such a hub for not even just for techno and house, but for hip hop and for soul. Like, I mean, hello Motown.
Yeah, it's legit.
It
happens every
Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, it's like 3 days straight, and there's like after parties.
3 days nonstop techno house. The city is literally taken over too, so there's a ton of venues in Detroit in general, and they're all surrounding this festival, this time, because you have all these legends that are in town for this era, for Movement. So the back-to-backs, are insane. Like, the chances that you'll meet an actual legend is very high.
Because they're just chilling.
Did I mention
Yeah.
how I met Stacey Hotwax last year?
I met Stacey too.
Oh my gosh.
So I met her in Montreal when I went to MUTAC. So
Ooh.
she was doing a panel for Feminine Knox, which was a big influence on me for this. And so the panel was just kind of discussing, how to make sure that festivals are responsible and are gender diverse, are geared towards people who aren't white. So just everything diverse. And so she was on there, and then we ended up, I was not like stalking her, I swear to God. But the way it worked is the place I was at. It was kind of like a conference center thing.
Yeah.
And so you're just like hanging out. So I like walked to go to this cafeteria thing. It's like one of those cafeterias that has like the Chinese thing and the pizza thing, and like they had different kinds of vendors. And so she was there, and so I just like started talking to her as we were like walking, and she's like, "Oh, you like want to join me for lunch?" I'm like, "Yeah." So yeah, and she was so nice. She was she's very Mama Bear vibes. She was talking to somebody on the phone that was like a nephew or something. Just so chill, so funny.
She's so down to earth.
Yeah, and so I also did a workshop with her, and she was big on like you need to like really narrow your focus on a why for like a party and stuff. So it was like a very cool thing, and she's so chill. And yeah, she like got a picture with me. So yeah, that's my experience.
Oh,
very nice person, but I want to hear yours.
Oh my gosh, your experience sounds way
no.
more, I guess, lucid, I'll say. Movement, guys, I'm telling you, movement, a lot's going on. So, I went with my friend, and we only did a 1 day pass, but we did the 1 day VIP, and I think it was the first day. We did Saturday, and we're in the we're in this, like, the VIP section, there's, like, lounges and stuff.
Yep.
So we went to one of the lounges, my friend went to go get a drink, I'm at one of these standing tables, and let's just say at the time, maybe like 45 minutes prior, I had taken a mushroom cap. And as one does when they take shrooms, I think I took a few. I don't honestly fully remember. But I remember feeling very floaty at that time.
Very one with the earth.
You could say I was standing at the table,
one
but
with the people on the table.
I was one with that standing table. Oh my gosh, it was holding me up completely. And someone starts to walk over, and it's Stacey Hotwax, and she just walked over to the table, and she was just like, "Can I just talk to you for a moment?"
This is what I'm saying. She will just start talking to you.
Yeah,
like,
she just started talking to me. Because she got into this whole situation where I think a friend of hers was in town to come see her, but then didn't want to go to the festival. And she was just waving around these passes that she had. And I'm just like, I'm like too like gone to even recognize. First off, didn't even know that was Stacey Hotwax. I just thought this was just a random woman who was just like going through a time because her friend like refused to go to this go to this festival. But come to find out, but then who else walks to the table? Lady D walks to the table, and they're all kikiing, saying hi, and Lady D kikis to me, and it's just like, "Oh my gosh, hey girl, how's it going?" I was just like, "What?" I'm hanging out with Lady D.
Good to see you.
And I'm like, if that's Lady D, then who is this? And then I come to find out, oh my God, this is Stacey Hotwax. And she's been waving around these passes this entire time, being like, "Oh, and I just have these artist backstage passes right now, and I just have no one to take them." And I'm just like,
I'll take them.
And then I literally haven't done shrooms since because it scarred me. Because I was like, man, if I wasn't on shrooms, I could have just come up with the words to just be able to network even just a little bit. You know what I mean? But I really was just trying to be supportive to her and just be like, "Oh, hi," like, or just be like, "Oh man, that sucks that your friend, whatever, like, forget them, you know, they don't deserve the moment, you know, this is your moment, this is your time.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend ended up walking back to the table, and they ended up frolicking off and doing something else.
Yeah.
But then the next day we were like, you know, we met Stacey Hotwax last night, and I was like, what?
Yes. So, and just if people are like, okay, like why are y'all so floored over this? That is the godmother of House.
Legend.
A legend. So, you know, she
and she just
cool.
finished the set and that's what, and it all made sense the next day, because during that time I was like, who's this woman? Why is she like, you know, talking to me about her friend and whatever? And
but that's how you
how
know.
does she know Lady D?
But
like, I just had so
but that's how you know they're the real ones.
questions.
That's how you know they're the real ones, because they don't have an ego. They know where they firmly are from. They know where they're going. You know, she shared some of her experience with me about, you know, because I asked like what was going on during COVID and all that. So she shared some personal stuff about that and just kind of what that period looks like for somebody who's, you know, a big DJ and stuff. But yeah, she does like a lot of community stuff. I mean, you never know, because I could always hit her up and be like, hey, I know some cool ass people you might have met before.
It's hard not to think
table.
like, oh my God, it's Stacey Hotwax, because again, she is so down to earth. But I'm like, oh my gosh.
But that was the thing too, you know, because then you should learn.
Yeah.
You know, so definitely, you know, act right, act with integrity, because you never know who's around.
Don't do shrooms, guys.
Yeah. I won't say that.
It scared me straight.
Yeah. No.
It scared me.
Honestly, I think my feeling is that, you know, I'm getting more woo-woo these days. I think you were in the right place at the right time, and what happened, and maybe.
Yeah, I just carry that story with
headspace.
me. Yeah.
No, it's a good story. So that means that would have happened last year in May.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I would have met her in August. That's so funny.
Yeah, I love that, though.
Serendipitous. Listen, you know, I'm telling you, don't ever give up a connection or any interaction, because you never know. She's very all about uplifting, you know, the local DJs over there and stuff. And even the crew that she was, like, hanging out with at Mutek was very much, it was, like, young black girls. I mean, I should say woman, probably, like, late teens, early 20s.
Yeah, and I can see for her, like, that's very important that she's uplifting other women.
She was very into making sure those team members were definitely, like, people that were, like, you know, being professional and stuff. And they were professional. They were, like, dealing with me and talking to me. So it was very, very cool experience. But that's so cool that we have something in common.
Yeah, we both met Stacey Hotwax last summer.
That's so crazy. I love it.
Love that for us.
Oh, okay. So I'm trying to think where to go, because we are going to have a mix. Do you think you would ever feel the pull for vinyl as a medium, or are you just firmly digital? Is that like your thing?
The thing about vinyl with me is that I've never mixed around with vinyl. I've always listened to vinyl. Vinyl is such an intimate thing for me. Like, I put one on to, like, finesse a date or something. Like, I'm like if I want to slow things down, I'm like, let me put this Marvin Gaye vinyl on or something. Like, I have a lot of, like, soul records or just random records that I just love just because I can listen to them in whole. Like, I listen to them, I flip them over, I listen to them back cover. Like, I don't know, like Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City. Like, I have that on vinyl because it's a legendary record. But I don't, when it comes to, like, mixing stuff for the floor, like, I don't know, it seems pretty scary and expensive. And
it is expensive. It's very expensive.
Until I, like, go to Europe and I can, like, be able to get all the dance records that I want.
Especially now with those damn import fees.
Yeah, import fees are insane. That's what I mean. Like, until I get me a little sugar mama that can just pay for all my vinyl, I probably won't. I don't see myself mixing vinyl as much.
You gotta hit up Stacey and be like, hey,
like, I have to.
Friends?
Or I need to, like, or practice with people who have, like, big collections, because I mean, my collection is pretty slim, and it's a very intimate collection, I'll say, but it's not meant for the stuff that I usually
But
make.
that's fine. Like, not everybody has to be a vinyl DJ. I definitely get annoyed when I see those memes. I mean, there's always like DJ shit talk a lot on the internet. It's just a thing. And there's always these memes of like, you know, if you put these in front of DJs, you'll see if they're DJs or not. Like, I don't know. It's like a meme of like vinyl, and like it's like this will prove who the real
But
DJs
I've seen
are.
vinyl DJs struggle on digital.
Right.
Like I have friends who started DJing vinyl, and they look at me and they want to practice with me because they're like, oh, I get in front of a digital the CDJs. I don't know what's going on, and I'm just like what? I mean, maybe it's just because again I've been so digital for so long, but like, please, I think the opposite. Obviously, I'm the other side. I look at the vinyl and I'm like,
It's overwhelming, and you know, I think going back to what you said about owning it, I think that's one of the big allures of vinyl now, beyond just like DJ and like just ownership, because now you see these fuck ass companies, they're trying to do everything to make sure there's no ownership for anybody, and that includes the artists themselves. So you see streaming platforms, this, that, and the other. I love streaming because like it lets me explore, it lets me find things. I love to listen to it in lossless.
It's a good tool to have.
But there's something about owning physical media. This is mine. It's real. I can touch it. I can bop you with it if you get too close. Bop. You know, like it's a real thing. And then you see the artistry too that goes into whatever the label is on it. You know, the actual case itself, like, you know, the slipcover. Like, it's really, really, really nice to just own a piece of vinyl. And then if you were getting those old, I'm assuming you probably did some digging for the funk like ones.
For the fun, yeah. I mean, I've dug around in certain cities like Chicago I've been to, and I go to a record store and I'm like,
so sometimes it's new, but sometimes a lot of these records, they're old. You know, they belong to somebody else. You have no idea who they belong to. So there's kind of this feeling of like, ooh, you know, there's like history.
It makes you want to listen to it more. Like the vinyl that I do have, I can tell you everything about those records. So like, there's probably some like when I was in Chicago, I picked up a few from like Trax, from Trax Records. And if you know anything about them, like they're old school house. So like a lot of those records are old. So the fact that they even still exist is like a marvel. But when I'm listening to them and like you can it's a different sound too. Like it sounds very old. In the best way I can describe that. I don't mean to sound like...
No, a lot of people will say very analog, very warm.
Yeah, it's very warm.
It's not as cold sounding as if you listen to a digital track.
Yeah.
Even of the same track. You know, like the pressing of the vinyl will sound a little bit different than if you just played it. Just telling people.
And just appreciating, like, you know, the side A, side B, and seeing how someone set up an EP or, you know, stuff like that. Stuff isn't that now... As I get into, you know, Ableton and building up my own tracks now, or that's more of a side project that I've been like working on behind the scenes, is knowing how to build a record. What is building a record going to be for you? You know, am I going to do a side A, side B? Am I going to do 2 tracks here, 2 tracks on the back? Is there going to be a theme involved? Like just things like that I don't think of when I think of physical media and having it. But I do try to collect CDs. I'm big on CDs. I'm always trying to find the best CD collections. Lately, Toronto's been like a good source for a lot of like dance records, specifically trance, and that has made me listen to more trance music, which I never saw myself really getting that heavy into trance. It seemed a little bit too colorful for me, but that opinion has changed. I will say, like, there's definitely a lot of cool trance records that can get deep and gritty as well.
Absolutely.
But you don't know until you listen to it. So, you know, those $5 bin CDs,
that's where you'll find good shit.
Yeah.
Or you'll find something you're like, oh, like I never would have found this.
Yeah,
you
compilations
know,
and stuff like that.
algorithm could not have gotten you here. Like
Yeah.
you had to dig, you had to be in real life looking for this thing. Just out of curiosity, because I don't go to Toronto much, what are the record stores there that you dig at, or like music stores?
I honestly can't even. I can't even name.
Okay,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not good at remembering names of record stores because
that's
I
all
don't.
good.
But Queen Street, what is it? Yeah, Queen Street in Toronto usually has at least like 4 or 5 record shops, and even just in random shops, like they'll have a little like media section. There's this place called Black Market in Toronto, where it's like an underground vintage shop, and it also has a vinyl selection, and they have really cool vinyl in there. Um, and they also have a barbershop in there too, which I find fascinating. It's a really cool little
Barbershop?
a barbershop
That
slash
goes-
vintage shop
That goes hard.
slash record store.
That's so cool.
It's really cool. Would have never thought that all three of those can exist in an underground space.
No, that's really cool though.
If you just look up record shops in Toronto, I mean, you literally get maybe like 10 hits
I believe that, yeah.
just from the first search. So, it's more so in Buffalo and like small places like that where it's like you count on maybe like one hand where you can go and get vinyl.
Yeah, we have Needle Drop, I think is still open, and Record Archive, which is huge.
Oh yeah.
It's massive.
Oh, I love coming here
Yeah,
and
it's
just going to Record
Huge.
Archive.
But I feel like there's probably another one, but those are the only two I can think of that would actually have like be more dedicated to maybe like electronic stuff or like stuff that's like
Yeah.
not something you get at like Target or Barnes and Noble, you know.
Well, yeah, if we go to AmVets and you go to their vinyl section, in your CD section, it's definitely no electronic music whatsoever. But I don't know.
But you'd be surprised because I've dug places and like they would have something, you know, I'm just throwing some stuff out there like Madonna, but it would be like like the record itself would have like an edit or would have like a remix.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like you'll randomly catch like a remix album randomly, or catch like a side.
And those old like '90s remixes,
Yeah.
or even '80s are like nasty.
Yeah,
Like they're nasty. Like
because
they're
they
really
would
good.
get someone like I don't even know, like Joy Beltram or somebody in the '90s who's like probably killing it in their residencies at that time, and and they end up doing those remixes for them, and then you're like, what? Like, since when does Madonna know about, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and I love how the new album she has coming out is going to be very.
Oh, I just
housey,
heard the
very
single. I just
dance-oriented.
heard the single.
It's so good.
She's just never gonna stop.
doesn't-
She's just
She
like
doesn't have to. She can do what she
doesn't-
wants. She can do what she wants.
she's never gonna stop.
Yeah, and she
That-
seems like she's in like a very chill. I don't want to say healed place, 'cause I don't know her business, but she seems like she's in a good place, you know, because she just seems very like relaxed, you know. But yeah, that new single is good. Okay, we've been talking for
We've been
about-
yapping.
Yeah, for an hour. This is so
Oh,
easy.
it's an hour? Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Once
okay.
you get DJs talking, we don't stop. I like how you mentioned the residencies. So I think we should talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
So just for people who are just watching, they're like, I don't know what that is. So a residency is where either a collective, like a local party, or a actual place, like think like a club, has DJs who are expected to usually serve up beats on a certain night, and usually they warm up, but it doesn't have to be that. It can be, you know, basically they're associated with that club, that building, that party. And so I liked how you touched on that earlier because I'm a big fan of people working on curating a sound for a party or an event or even a building. I think like obviously you don't want it to get tired, you don't want it to get typecast, but I do think like people should have a general idea of what they're walking into. And I also think on the other side of it, you mentioned this also earlier, like as a DJ, it's kind of your role to like bring new things to people and teach them about new things too. So like there's also an element of like when you have a resident DJ, it's kind of their role to be like, okay, this is what I think is relevant, or is what I think, like you might even hear some new stuff in the underground scene and like bringing that out, making sure that people hear it. So that Dr. Feelright track that was in your mix is really good. It was very popular, very popular. And you played that. You brought that to Buffalo. So I feel like residencies are important. I think there's a very important role to be had there, and I love that. And also, who are the promoters for T Service? Can we just throw that out there?
Well, we promote them ourselves.
Okay. Well, like the originators, because you mentioned that somebody said that they wanted you on.
Well, there's JD, Dominic, Shane, and Keelan, who's also Auntie K, who's also a DJ.
I think it's the only one I loosely know from a million years ago.
Those 4 are the originators of T Service, and I was kind of added on after the first party. So yeah.
And what would you say was the vibe of T Service? Like, what was that? Could be the feeling of it. Like, what was the experience that when you all were coming together and talking about it, you all were like, oh, this is what people should expect when they come?
Definitely very queer forward, and also like not afraid to be extra, like not afraid to like be like, we want to put on a very special outfit, and like, I don't know, it made me want to like buy wigs and like just go insane, like just let your freak flag fly kind of energy, and just so people feel safe to like be able to express themselves, and then knowing that environment is curated in that way, it helps the DJs feel way more comfortable to play and feel comfortable, and then make sure the audience and the party goers feel comfortable as well to like to let loose and have fun, and to know that like this space is for you. This isn't
it's giving very like fun, kiki, like just kind of, I don't know, it's giving fun is the vibe I get.
Fun, like fun, really like fun daytime party vibes for sure. And the one thing Buffalo struggles with is having spaces. So just being able to curate something and like put it out there, and for us to have the space and call it ours, like that alone like means the world. So we just want to make sure that we're throwing safe, fun, and just like having, just like throwing a good time, and not even in a pretentious way either, or whatever, because we're not trying to be the craziest, the biggest, or anything like that. Like, I think it's more about just making sure we show up for each other.
Yeah. No, it's good to have that approachability, and then also, be like a safe space, for queer people. All right. So I have one funny thing I did want to go over. But I need to move my dog.
She gets so comfy so quickly.
She is so comfy, and this is what she does all day. She just wants to cuddle all day. So
you just want to cuddle.
I want to talk about this photo. So this is the photo. Yeah. So you know what this photo is. So this is the photo that I used for the promo. But I have a lot of questions about this photo, because first off, it is awesome. It is very much you. It just is fun. You're just like losing your fucking mind wherever you're at. So I'm kind of wondering, but then I'm looking at the back and I'm like, wait a second, like this is a whole Blair Witch house situation. So I was like, what is this? So I was assuming it was some sort of underground thing, but I'm like, damn, like there's no roof on this place. Like what is this? So please, I want to hear the context of this place, this party. Obviously, if you have to keep the space private, that's fine, but like I just want to know more about this photo. I was like, this photo is the shit, but I also need to know what's going on here. And like you're like I don't know.
This was at the venue Duende in Buffalo.
Okay.
Even if you've ever been to Duende,
A long time ago.
They have an outside space.
Okay.
And that was like this like outdoor seems like a stage,
Okay.
sort of. And that was the inside stage part where I'm at. And that was for another queer party called Fluid that I did last year.
I've heard of the Fluid parties.
Fluid, shout out to Chango 4, who is the main creator of Fluid. Another, again, queer party that kind of popped a lot of things off in Buffalo for sure. The past 2 years. Yeah, and that I think I was probably playing Green Velvet when I took that.
That's great.
I just started. Velvet. I played Flash, and if you know the song Flash, like it's just meant to like obliterate your brain. And at that moment, I was just like ready to go, and it was at that time too where it was about to turn into nighttime, so I just felt myself getting like very.
It's such a good photo.
Deviant.
It's so good. But I've seen you post this photo a lot, and I'm like, this photo I just can't tell.
Yeah, my wife actually took that photo, so and it's the best quality. I'm not the best at getting headshots or anything like that, so like.
You know somebody now.
Now I know someone.
You know somebody.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So just my work speaks for itself at Also Host Totos.
Your work is amazing.
So I will come out to Buffalo. So I'll do things every once in a while. I did Girly Pop.
Yeah, I can invite you over if you ever want to be put on a list.
It's fun for me, and I don't take a party photography vibe to it. I take a documentarian vibe to it.
Nice.
Real fast, I really want to get to the mixed portion. The first time I went to Duende, I'm talking years and years ago. I don't know, maybe 7, 8, I can't remember. I was like driving, and you have to go through all those silos.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? Because I was like, I didn't, like the buildings start to go away. And I was like, this is some scary shit. Like, this is like some Breaking Bad shit. Like, I'm going to be stuck in these silos, and it turns out this place isn't real. And I'm going to get killed. Like, it was like free. I'm not kidding. And, and I wasn't on anything. I was just like driving from Rochester. And then I got there, and I was like, oh, okay, it's like this, little building right here. But it freaked me out the first time I went, because I was like, okay, because you're like in another city. You're like, I don't know this city. I don't know it. But, I'm like driving, and I don't know. I was tweaking.
I can see that as someone, and if you're not from Buffalo, you're probably like, oh, okay, so I'm about to die.
And I'm down for like a good underground warehouse party, like if it's not a warehouse by the way, but like I'm down for that. But that was not what I thought it was. I was like, oh, it's like a nice little venue, I don't know. It's just so funny how but it's a cool space. I need to go back. I just need to come back to Buffalo more often. I need to just go. I haven't checked out Fluid yet. I haven't checked out Tea Party. Hopefully I can make it.
Yeah.
So the next tea party is May 2nd.
Yeah, tea service or Nightshade.
Mm-hmm.
Nightshade, that party's going to be May 2nd, 10 p.m. to late.
I think it's 9.
9?
I don't know.
Wow.
I could be wrong.
Look at me messing up
no.
times.
I want to say, I could be wrong.
No, it is 9. You're correct.
Yeah.
It's actually 9 to late. And it's going to be me and Ulak, which I'm super excited about.
It was badass.
Ulak is such a badass DJ, and she's...
so nice.
Yeah, she's so nice, and she's just so... When I think of Buffalo, I think of Sam. Like, I think of like badass people who've like made their mark in Buffalo, and I definitely think of Sam when it comes to.
And she's
DJing.
Real, and she's sweet. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that combo is so fucking cool. Like you and Sam was just. I don't know. Is this your first time playing exclusively with her, or?
Yeah, I don't think we've. Well, actually, no. I think we've been on a lineup together before, but it was like years ago, and this was like us at like this venue called Milky's in Buffalo.
we have a Dickies.
Yeah, we have a Milky's.
It's not a venue, but we have a Dickies.
Yeah, it was a small little event. Like I wouldn't like maybe 10 people showed up. Like it was something about the promo for that event was like really bad, but it was like years ago. This was probably like right after the pandemic.
Well, sometimes those are the best kind of parties, is where you have just a few people and you actually can talk. And
Yeah, it was probably like, yeah, maybe like 10 people were there. I
yeah.
probably mixed like, I don't know, I mixed for like maybe 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
And it was probably the first time I really got into DJing like high energy, high BPM, like techno stuff. And yeah, and Sam DJ'd before me, and Sam killed it, obviously, because
She's amazing. So like,
she makes me
yeah,
think of DJing different. Like
yeah,
she
absolutely.
like really like makes me think of, like, there are times where I feel like I get a little bit too unhinged, and then I listen to her DJ sets, and they're very tight, and I like that, and I'd be like, oh my god, like,
No,
let me get back to the board,
she's
you
got it
know.
locked down, and yeah, she has a lot of flexibility in what she does. So I opened for her in December. We had a local thing at Bug Jar called Kinetics, and so I like to do my thing. And I was kind of like trying to push in this more trippy sound I'm doing. So I'm trying to do like psychedelic sort of stuff.
Nice.
But with like a very grounded housey techno feel.
Yeah.
So a decent amount of people came to see me. It was like very sweet of them. Sam got on. Like 30, 40 fucking people showed up. I don't know if they were from Rochester. I don't know if they were from Buffalo, but they showed up, right? And it could have just been the time. I don't think it was. I think I really think they were there.
Yeah. And
To
30
hear
to 40
her.
people in bug jars, like,
It was
yeah.
packed out, and they were
That's
like,
pretty.
"Woo!" And, I was like going. I wanted to go visit my friends at Open House, which is another house thing we have here.
Yeah.
So I came back, toward the end of her set, but like the way she played, the way she got that room moving, and I was like, I got a lot to learn. So very cool. I'm so glad for both of you. So glad for Tea Service, and I'm glad I got to learn more about it. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap now. Do you have anything you want to tell anybody before I do the Trans Women of Color Collective announcement?
I mean, there is another collective that I'm part of. It's called Head First, and it's with me, Chango 4, who I mentioned started the Fluid Parties, and another DJ called Skenderton. We throw a lot of genre free kind of parties where we just play and we really mix it up. And when I say genre free, I just mean like anything goes. So it's not always like, we don't like to interpret them always as dance parties. I mean, you can dance, but the music it's way more fluid, I guess, in that sense when it comes to genres.
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
yeah, we've been throwing a couple events lately, and
And is there Instagram for that?
we don't have an Instagram yet.
Okay.
It's very much
Starting out.
it's in the works, but I at least wanted to plug that up because Head First is definitely something that is near dear to me, and I love playing with them, and they're the homies. So
I love that. Well, I'm so glad you shared. Real fast, I'm gonna have to get up again. I have to like figure out this little button doohickey thing. So, I don't want I want the other one. Is this the right one? No. All right, I gotta go up there. So, I might be looking for volunteers to help me with the video switcher for graphics during a stream. So,
let's go.
I'll probably put that up there. So, I don't mind doing it, but all right.
You all set?
I am going to put this up. So, it says, in process is proud to fundraise for the Trans Women of Color Collective. And let me pull up my little dealio here. So, real fast. So, I really want there to be a big community element, with this stream. And I don't ever, one of the things I've seen that's kind of bothered me about DJ culture at large is there feels like there's a bit of a disconnect from like community to stage, and then stage is like corporatized and things get sanitized.
Yeah,
and,
I can see that.
And yeah, so those are conversations I've had on other shows here, but for me it was just important. like for how can I not just elevate people on the show and just have them come and share their stories, but like how do I make sure that is grounded in giving back somehow? That was like very, very important to me. And then obviously, super disturbed by what's been going on, you know, to trans people.
Yeah.
I consider trans people, and particularly Black trans people or trans people of color, to be the most punched down, unsafe group of people.
Yeah, the most vulnerable for sure.
Yeah, I would say maybe with the exception of children, but they are the most just unsafe and just, you know, if you're paying attention,
Yeah.
there's been a gradual stripping away of rights, of health care, and just the ability to live. It's a forced erasure, and then if there's a forced erasure, I just call it a genocide. I'm not even playing. It's a straight up fucking genocide in our country, first world country, United States of America. So, I know it's heavy, but it's the truth. So I just wanted to see what I could do to give back. So please, please, please consider donating to the Trans Women of Color Collective. During the live stream, I'm going to keep that QR code in the corner up. Once again, you can also donate to twocc.org/donate. If you're on a browser, you put that in, it'll pop right up. And if you're like, okay, well, what is this? So the Trans Women of Color Collective is a grassroots global initiative led by trans and gender nonconforming people of color. They work to uplift the lived narratives, experiences, and leadership of trans and gender nonconforming people of color, their families, and comrades while building towards collective liberation for all oppressed people through healing and restorative justice. Their work is grounded in organizing, culture, and care. They focus on building spaces where trans people not only survive, but lead, heal, and thrive. And so they're doing stuff. If you check out the Instagram, which is at twocc.org, you can see some of the stuff they're doing. If you go to their website, they'll talk about all the local projects and stuff that they're doing. And it's really, really cool. So please, please, please consider donating. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say. So we're going to have a mix soon. Just give us a moment. Thank you so much for coming.
Of course.
Give you a little hug.
Yes.
Laura's going to want to be in the hug. We're going to squish Laura. And if I can make tea service, I will. I'm a very tired person, but I would like to make it. So
yeah, we would love to have you.
Yeah, you'll see me in the corner shaking my booty.
That's how it's supposed to be.